Hello everyone, God bless. Welcome to another video. We're going to pick another verse and study. This channel slowly evolving into something else. When I first started this channel, it was called Timeline because I did a timeline of what was going to happen in the tribulation, Jacob's trouble, but that video had over, I think, 8,000 views, but somehow YouTube got rid of it, so it's not on there anymore. I don't have the original video, so with some of my ideas what was going to happen, you know, during the tribulation, but I'm not worried about that anymore because I know uh, I'm waiting for the Lord to come, so I'm not worried about. I'm waiting for Jesus. I'm not worried about what's going to happen after we're gone. So this channel, I called it Timeline then. Now it's Walking with Jesus. I think I'm going to change it to like Bible study or something. So it's going to change again. Let's pick a verse. What I'm doing is picking a verse at random, and then I let the Holy Spirit guide me to let me tell me what it means. So I try and pick it in the Pauline epistles because that has to do more with Gentiles and Christians today. So, all right, here I go. I'm going to randomly pick a page here. Make sure it's in the New Testament. Here we go. It's 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 11. Let me write that down. 2 Corinthians Second Corinthians chapter 12, verse 11. So let me read it, and then we'll see what we have to do. I am become a fool in glorying. Ye have compelled me, for I ought to have been commended of you. For in nothing am I behind the very chiefest apostles, though I be nothing. All right. So, of course, I've read Corinthians before, so I know what he's talking about there. That's Paul talking. Uh, Maybe I won't write this all out, but there's verse 11. So let's go back to number 9 because it looks like Christ is talking here. Verse 9, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore I take pleasure in the infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecution, in distresses for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Here's our verse. I am become a fool in glorying. Ye have compelled me, for I ought to have been commended of you. For in nothing am I behind the very chiefest apostles, though I be nothing. And 12, truly the signs of an apostle were wrought among you in all patience, in signs and wonders and mighty deeds. All right, luckily I kind of know what's going on here. Paul had a thorn. He had some kind of thorn in his flesh, in his flesh. we don't know what it was, but Paul prayed 3 times for God to get rid of this thorn in his flesh. Nobody really knows what it was, uh, but what God told him was, "My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." So, most gladly, therefore, I will rather glory in my infirmity. So Paul's gonna glory now in all his pain in his flesh, because the Lord's telling him that uh, the Lord's strength is made perfect in his weakness. So now uh, Paul understands, and he knows why God didn't take that thorn out of his flesh. So, and he'd rather keep it now because it makes God's strength is made perfect in his weakness. So that's what I get out of that. It's kind of, I didn't want to write the verse down. It's kind of long, but let's go back to verse 7. And preventing I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, preventing I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord 3 times, thrice, that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. So that happens today. Satan could have uh, something on you, you know, some kind of, Paul calls it a thorn, but it could be anything. It could be an illness. It could be a disability. It comes from Satan. Satan. Anything bad uh, comes from this guy in your life, okay? God doesn't put sickness upon you. God doesn't make you handicapped. All this bad stuff comes from this guy. If you can pray, to have God remove it like Paul did, or you can rejoice in it like Paul did. Just like Paul went through a lot of persecution for preaching the word of Christ his whole life. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this study. But I wanted to also mention that I'm going to change the name. I'm going to probably change the name of my channel. So I don't know. I know I got like 69 subscribers from that one video. I had over 7,000 views, and it's gone now. It's gone. YouTube took it off. I think it's because I was speaking about certain people, and in this day and age you can't even say what you want. But anyway, this is the King James Bible. I was going to show you the front, that this is an authorized version, King James Version. I like what it says here. The Old and New Testament translated out of the original tongues and with the former translations, diligently compared and revised by His Majesty's special command, appointed to be read in churches. This is opposite of what was going on back in the day. The churches didn't want you to have a Bible, so they could tell you anything. You wouldn't even know what's in here. Right here, by the grace of God, King James, King of Great Britain, France, and Ireland at the time, 1611. 1611. King of England, France, and Ireland. And he got together some of the greatest minds of the time and translated this Bible from the original tongue. So this is the Bible I use. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next Bible verse. Maybe if I on the next one, if I pick a verse that I don't think it's going to be something I understand, maybe we'll do another. I'll choose another one. But all right, guys, have a good one, and God bless.